This is the Kings Creek Podcast. All right, we're starting because otherwise we'd just be sitting here and talking about nothing for 4 hours. All right, everyone, welcome to, I think this is episode 13 of the Kings Creek Podcast. I know it has been a minute, and it's been my fault. Jesse's been on my tail for the last 3-4 months to get something done and put out to y'all. So I will take ownership over that. But you were going to one way or the other anyway. Yeah, so we are glad to be back in the saddle. The theme of today's episode we were just discussing is just basically everything new, and it's going to be fun and light and maybe a few phone calls to some friends who we have, it's all unscripted. I think that's the new way to do things is unedited. Like just be genuine, raw, transparent.
It's scary.
100% scary.
I mean, it's going to be kind of scary, but and literally it is, unscripted kind of stuff. But I mean, face it, we don't have enough new going on. We got to borrow other people's new.
Yeah.
So we can hijack some other people's new stuff they got going on too and have a chat about it.
Yeah. But I will say, don't cut yourself short or sell yourself short. You guys got some sweet new stuff, and that's part of what I wanted to bring up is some of the new Kings Creek. This is the Kings Creek Podcast after the way. So we wanted to bring up.
After the way. I like that. Not by the way, but after the way.
Is that what I said? Mm-hmm. It's been 3 months, so I wouldn't doubt it. People they know what we're saying before we even say it. So this is, I guess, a comedy podcast. How funny is that? That to me is so funny. So I would never, when we were like building this podcast, we wanted to keep things fun and light, but I didn't think of marketing this as a comedy podcast. But when I do a Google search, it just comes up comedy podcast.
We're funny. Oh gosh, yeah. We're so funny.
All right. So back to Kings Creek Apparel, all the new stuff. You guys have, I don't know, just a bunch of new things out. Let's go to the website, shop all new. And one of my favorite things is just that patch in general. The work patch is what you call it. You got a brand new colorway out. That's unreal.
The weird thing about that is I have to give a lot of credit to Melissa. She kind of took this on, thankfully, because I was in a whole different direction. And to be honest with you, I was in a little bit of a design
slump.
Is that what it's called? Slump, funk,
all of the above.
Yeah, mush. And it just,
I don't know about mush,
I felt like the minute I started doing something, somebody else was oddly enough doing something similar. So it's a fine line between, you don't want to look like you're copying people, but everything is inspired by something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a big difference in inspired to do things versus, you go out to just straight up, let's let everybody else design it, and then I'm just going to put my spin on it.
Right.
So, anyway, so we started with this. I'm not haven't been a big fashion camo kind of person. I kind of like, it's no secret, I like mossy oak.
Right.
But this is not worn in the same manner to me. Can be if that's your vibe. But anyway, we want to do something a little bit different. And this particular, the latest one that we've just got, first off, the first one sold out before we could even release it, really. There's a picture of it, and I think some people were able to take advantage of it, but it sold out kind of before it really happened.
Yeah. Understandably so. It's sick. Let me just describe it real quick because people are probably like, the work patch, what's that? It's the patch itself. It's like a legitimate patch, and you have it both on a hat and on a hoodie, which the hoodie is like a heavyweight, like a Carhartt style. That's just where I go to like
super heavy,
resemble something else. But like the work patch itself, it's something akin to what you'd find on like a car detailer, like a Cintas shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like the patch where it's got your name on it. I mean, I'm sure that's kind of where the style came from, inspired by. The font is way different than most of those.
It's a woven patch.
Yeah. But it's sweet, and it's on a sweet, like, I guess, designer camo, if that's what you want to call it. I think I like the new one better.
Well, I definitely do. And it's colors that you wouldn't normally have put together.
It's got like a peachy cream and then like a Dove. I want to call it Dove. I don't know. It's sick. But the patch hoodie is also sweet. The scripted crew neck with the 3D print, unreal. My mom picked up one of those when she was here.
People don't know about the quality of that print on that scripted crew neck is crazy.
Yeah.
It's the new puffy I don't know the technical term, but
yeah. Well,
I know
you should.
it's difficult to get done. I should is kind of my deal, but
yeah.
It's just a pigment dyed crew neck sweatshirt that's kind of heavy too, and it's super comfortable and soft, and it's got I just think that the graphic on it and the quality of that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those like where if you bought it like 5 years ago and you washed it once, it'd be like gone. But I don't know, y'all perfected it or found someone who perfected it. It's sick. I like that cream color. My mom got that lavender. I don't know what color you call that. Pewter, lavender. Is pewter purple?
Let me tell you, pewter is actually gray, so it would definitely not be gray. It is lavender, lilac, purple.
Oh, lilac. It's lilac. Yeah. The Rochester Lilac Festival.
Okay, well that's what it is.
We got a whole festival about that where I'm from. Yeah, and then you got the camo logo tee on the back, but y'all added a little spice to it with the bark behind the duck and some pine trees behind the duck. It's all super sick.
Yeah, the bark is actually our drawn camo. We actually created that camo, so it's pretty cool.
Did you really? I did not know that.
We did. It was done about 15 yards from us.
Shout out Carly. All right. Yeah, so there's a bunch of new stuff. Y'all go check it out, kingscreekapparel.com. Just go to the shop new, all new stuff. Tons of sweet stuff there. You should just do like a 5% or a 10% promo code for Kings Creek Podcast just to help out our listeners. So maybe just try it, and it might not work. It might work. I don't know. Maybe like the first 10 people to do it will get it. Whatever.
Yeah, just code.
That's
podcast.
Off the spin. Jesse's probably going to punch me.
No,
after
that's
this
fine.
And be
We'll
like,
do
what the hell are you doing, man?
No, we'll do it. We'll just do podcast 10 for 10% off.
All right. Podcast 10. And we'll add that in the show notes so people can do it.
That's right.
But y'all going to have to go and check it out because it might be like the first 10 people to get it. So we don't know.
And we've also got maybe like a bolo kind of a deal for us. We do have some more of the work patch iterations coming. So they should be here pretty soon. We also have got, I guess maybe our infamous spring break editions will be coming out for the first full week of April, probably related to the golf industry.
Yeah, well, let's just tease that because you just showed me the initial design for this year's Masters hat.
Better get it while you can.
Pretty sweet, folks.
That one's going to be pretty cool.
If you know me, then you know I like hats. And that was, you're going to have to listen back and see what I just said because I gave you a big tease.
I hope everybody likes it. It usually goes pretty quick, so make sure you grab that while you can.
Absolutely.
And we'll have it at some of our local retailers too.
Last little bit about merch. The Kings Creek podcast merch. I just want to let everyone know that it had been, some months, and Jesse out of the blue texted me just a picture of him wearing a Kings Creek podcast hoodie. It's a one of one that I will never see. And he just hung that over my head to get me back in here, and it worked.
It turned out nicer than I thought it was going to. It's pretty cool. I think we might have to offer that to our guys and to anybody that happens to be on it.
That would be, it is so sick. And the color that's on, like a pewter. I'm just kidding. It's not pewter. I'm just, that's a callback.
Cream and like a bronze color.
A taupe? Is taupe cream? Come on, I can't be 0 for 2.
Dark. Taupe would be dark cream. Cream's an off-white. And this has got like
I'm calling that a win.
A bronze kind of writing on it, I guess is what you would say.
I am calling that a win. All right.
Call it.
Merchandise topic done. Let's move into the next one. It is 2025, and we got some things in store, I'm sure. You got any plans for Kings Creek in 2025? I know the first event that you all love to start the year with coming up, Man-to-Man Conference.
Yes, that's the 7th and 8th. It's going to be It's going to be a time, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize, what we, spend most of our time on. And I don't want to say it that way because it's not like we spend, here we are just swinging a hammer on men's events, but it is no secret that men's events are something that we're pretty passionate about. I just know that what they do, I guess, in my life and how much needed they are, just kind of a recharge and to try to make sure you keep, the main thing. And so we have a good opportunity here to title sponsor. I guess we have ever since we began it. Is this the fifth year?
No, more than that, I think.
I can't remember. But we've had great guests. We did podcast at it last year. This year, one of the guests has got a large podcast. So I'm kind of feeling inferior. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but more than likely
we'll swing our swing.
We'll probably shoot the shot at that too. But we've got just many people. One, there's a church plant, meaning we help to plant a church in Maine, and we do that. Our church has got a partnership in Augusta, Maine as well. So what we do is we go there and it's a bunch of super cool guys, and it's a very unchurched area and just a bunch of real cool guys. And I really have grown to love Maine and especially Mainers, the people there. And they always come back to our men's conference, and then we go and help them put on their conference there as well. And every year we do a little something with that, whether it's just providing, all the shirts and
just some general
giveaway
resources.
kind of things for them,
right.
Hats and shirts and stuff for these guys. And because it's not something here, it seems like we probably take it for granted, the amount of opportunities we have to attend something like that. But there they've got, the church at Augusta, Maine that we had Dan Coleman on last year on the podcast. He kind of, took the bull by the horns and created that men's event there. And so what is it? It's slipping my mind what they call it.
It starts with an R, I think, doesn't it?
Something.
Yeah.
Reload.
Reload.
It's the Reload conference there. And so
I don't know how I remember that.
I don't know, but I'm glad you did. But anyway, so we come alongside them with their event. And so the coolest part about this year's Man-to-Man here, I say coolest, one of the cool things is one of the churches, Shores Church there in Maine, their lead campus pastor is actually going to be coming, and he's been here before, but this is his first time coming as
a presenter,
pastor, of a new church plant there. So you kind of get to see the fruits of some of your labor there in Maine, and so it's pretty neat. He'll be one of the speakers along with a baseball player from Atlanta, Sid Bream. Played in a couple World Series, great guy.
Yeah, Jesse was mad at me because I didn't know
Sid Bream. Come on,
I didn't grow up watching baseball, man.
But that was still a super way up northern New York.
He's from up there.
No,
so what are you talking about?
I'm just saying that's kind of you guys are baseball freaks up there.
That's the city, man. There ain't Buffalo Bandit baseball players. I don't know. We have a bunch of minor teams. I actually have at my house the Rochester Red Wings. Loved going to those baseball games, man, growing up. They are a minor team for, I want to say like the Milwaukee Brewers or something. It's some like random city, but I have a framed, I should like give that away or something. Maybe I'll do that. Like do a giveaway on this. Nobody listening though. Nobody listening is like, oh, Rochester Red Wings, but that'd be cool. I don't have the space for it, and I'm sure someone else would appreciate it a little bit more than I am. Now I feel bad, like I just dissed everyone who signed that shirt, and that's not what I
mean, that was their highlight too.
To do,
I mean, So anyway, we got that coming up. The Man-to-Man conference. It's going to be awesome. We're going to launch some new products there that nobody's really seen. Mm-hmm. We're going to have some new apparel, pullovers, stuff like that. First time we're going to launch them there at the Man-to-Man conference. We're going to have a couple new performance hats, maybe a new iteration of the work patch hat. I just know we've got some cool stuff, and we're probably going to have 4 or 5 new hats there that are going to be limited runs. The idea is I'm trying to to maybe push some products just for that event. We're excited about that, and we're gonna come pretty hard this year with some new stuff for the men and the people that get to attend that conference.
I feel like also this year where we are involved, I say we, it's mostly you, but involved in a little bit more golf related stuff. You're going to a 2-man scramble for chasing birdies, our boys over there.
Yes, Ray and I will be going to that. It's in July
at Nemacolin.
Nemacolin in PA, which that's always a crazy event, because I don't really know why I'm there.
There's some high rollers there. Yeah,
I'm just there, just riding the coattails of.
If our boy Tucker Carlson shows up, not the name, I feel like maybe I just disclosed some horrible information. But if he's there, get me a can of the Alp. I want to try it. You know what I'm talking about? His new little.
That's his new smokeless pouches, whatever.
I just want to try it just to say that whatever.
But yeah, it's so we got that coming up. It's going to be pretty neat. Hopefully, we'll get some pretty cool content out of that. But anyway, there's just a few golf tournaments and things like that. But hopefully we're going to, and I hate to sound like bring the cheese level up. But I really want to just focus on trying to help his. Am I a little on top of you?
No, I was like, what? He's touching my leg. Sorry, go.
We got a tight space here, folks. But anyway, I want to focus this year, if anything. Well, by the way, that brings up, have you got a word for the year?
Yeah.
Do you want to share it or you don't want to share it? Because I'll hold you. Accountability goes to the roof.
Yeah. So last year it was action. Like stop talking about things and start to do things. And I would say that at least having a word, like I did accomplish more than I thought I was going to in a year. So that's beneficial. And this year is...
And you had a baby, so that was action.
Yeah. Oh, we got way more than we bargained for. Not with, just in general. We got with the hurricane and some of the things that happened after she was born. So it's we definitely got our share of action. But this year, I think it was persistence. I'll have to double check. It's been a while since I wrote it and then got busy and kind of forgot about it. But I'm pretty sure it's persistence. No, I lied. It's direction. I know what it is. It's direction.
Direction.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And it was kind of like a play off of action, like start something, at least just go in a direction. It might be the wrong one, but at least get the ball moving and roll somewhere. Yeah. Because you know me, and maybe people 13 episodes in can kind of maybe find this in me, but I am a Renaissance man, if you will, a man of many directions. And it's hard to, become really great at any one of those things because I'm doing 19 different things at the same time. So this year was kind of I'm trying to force myself to pick one or two things and just roll it.
Try to do them well and kind of see where that gets you.
Right. That said,
that's a good thing.
I also want to launch the Wojo's spicy sweet mix up and chili sauce. So
we're going to have that for some people to try.
Yeah. So Let me back it up. The Wojo Spicy Sweet Mix-Up, it's phenomenal. These are all my mom's recipes. And the Spicy Sweet Mix-Up is basically like a candied pickled jalapeno with some other goodies in the jar. It's phenomenal. Just having like buddies over and at night, when you're a kid. We didn't grow up having I wasn't the snack house, but we would have like random things. So we would just at night snack on like saltines with these pickled jalapenos, and it's just become a nostalgic thing. But now as like an adult, I can really appreciate it and like use it a little bit more creatively. So put it on some hot dogs, throw it in the coleslaw,
put it on a charcuterie
board, charcuterie, whatever it is.
I don't know how to say it.
Get French with it, but yeah. So there's a lot of use cases there, and it's just simply delicious. And then the chili sauce, it's my favorite chili personally. And I know that I'm biased saying that, but it's super easy. Basically, all you got to do is brown your ground beef, add the chili sauce.
Or bison, venison.
Whatever you want. Yes, it's kind of like
protein.
It's choose your own adventure, but the base of the chili, the thing that takes 16 hours to make if you're making it from scratch, that's all done for you. All you got to do is add it to a pot, let it simmer, heat up, and you're good to go. But before that, you're going to add your beef. If you're If you're from Texas, you're not going to add beans. If you're from 49 other states, you're probably going to add beans.
Right.
But it's phenomenal. So you were saying that you wanted to like call my mom.
We're excited. I think we need to call her.
That's a scary.
I had the pleasure of meeting his mom about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for the first time, and absolutely loved every minute of it. And she's kind of like a little fireball. And I think she would be great just to, I really just want to ask her if she thinks that Mike could make it with his sauces. I just want to ask her, hey, just a quick question. If Mike puts his mind to this sauce, is this something that she feels like, and if we're going to get a canned mom answer or what? But let's give her a ring.
Hang on. Oh, I don't even know if this works. Oh yeah, it works.
If she cusses and bleeps, we're going to bleep it.
Well, we're going to try to. Let me see. Let me get that button fired up. All right, we're good.
Where's our call?
Hopefully she answers. That'd be like important.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, you are currently, we're recording a Kings Creek podcast right now, and we're calling you like live on the show. Jesse wanted to ask, we're talking about the Wojo spicy sweet mix up. Anyone?
I had to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, but not right now, love. You have to give me warning.
Well, that was the whole point.
It would be no fun if we did a warning.
And it's not like there's thousands of people listening right now. This is like just us talking, and then it goes out.
Yeah,
so
they won't till we release it.
If you like swear, I can hit.
I know I won't do that. I pray I don't. All right. That's funny.
Hey, I just wanted to call you and ask you just a quick question. If we go all in on this, now I'm not talking about selling my house or anything, but if we go all in on the sauce, do you think it's something that Mike could make happen?
Hope so. I believe it's marketable. I believe the people that have tried it absolutely enjoy it.
What do you think is better?
And I hope he's not just talking about the chili sauce. I hope he's talking about the jalapeno, carrot, and onion.
I mean, they're both good. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be the full meal deal. Now look, we'd have to lean on you to come up with maybe a third or fourth option too.
How about the jalapeno pepper jelly? That would be another one.
Oh, yeah, that's good too.
So,
well, if you're going to go down the jelly, I might as well and jelly too.
The what?
That's right up. Dandelion jelly. That's right up the house alley.
Now we're getting off into left field. We gotta.
Okay, all right. I'll stay on track. Pepper jelly, but I don't have my pepper jelly certified.
I know.
Well, it's just technicalities. I mean, we can get around that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Y'all have to go work through Cornell for that, or actually, I could send in my process probably.
Well, I'm pretty confident that you got the in there, that you could probably help us with that. But the main thing, we just wanted to make sure that if you believe in Mike, that was kind of expected that you would. But I know you'd tell me the truth whether or not he could tote the ball, or if we needed to find something else.
I believe he would be awesome at getting it up and running, and yeah.
Well, that is awesome.
She might just be saying that though. I also got a face only a mother could love.
I'm not just saying that.
All right, Mom. We'll let you go. We just want to call and say what's up, and he wanted to ask you that.
All right, but you know what? I'm so excited. See, God works in mysterious ways. But now, I hope I'm not live. Am I live?
I mean, everything you're saying is going to be in the podcast.
On the podcast, so you're speaking to yourself and to us too.
You can't. Well, I just want to say, Jesse, you've been an answer to a prayer that I've prayed for my son for a year, for having a strong Christian man come alongside another Christian man, and iron sharpening iron, and keeping them focused and directed.
Well,
so
that's very.
I thank you, and I'm confident my son is able to make this come to life, and people will absolutely enjoy it.
Well, if they don't, we'll put a hit out on them, and we'll take care of the ones that don't like it.
Yeah, all righty. Well, you know where I live. Hey, show him that picture of what I sent you in my spy point.
All right, I will.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, ciao. I love you both.
All right, love you.
soon.
See you. Bye.
All right, Jesus loves you more. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. She pulled
That's
the
just a
old
typical
school,
mom.
Jesus loves you more. I'm telling you.
That's-
And she knows how I am about people thanking me for that. I could feel my body just melting into this seat right here.
Yeah.
Makes me want to crawl.
We had to all right, we got to make this like a more fun podcast now. No,
That was sweet.
it was, yeah. I think it could work.
Cool. Well, I mean, we're just going to,
Now we just got to run it. She wanted me to show you. So we talked about our land that we have up in New York with some killer buck and
box and doors.
bucks and does. And you know what a fisher is?
A what?
A fisher.
A fisher?
Yeah.
The fish fisher?
No. Like
A bird?
a fisher.
I thought that's like
They're like a freaking Wolverine mix.
it looks like a squirrel.
Fisher. They're like really aggressive little mammals.
Like a badger?
Kind of like a badger, yeah.
Ooh, I don't want no part of that, Mike. Y'all have those?
I guess. I mean, that's the first time I've seen one. I think the first time we caught it.
That one's like a bear.
Yeah. They're like a bear cat
But they're
mix.
6
I don't know.
pounds, maybe? 2
No,
pounds?
I don't know how much let's Wikipedia this. Is Wikipedia, I feel like in the real world, people use Wikipedia and trust it, but in like academia, they don't. Let's see.
Well, because can't anybody put anything on here?
I think so, but I mean, it's probably.
What's his diet? That's what I want to look at. It kills lynxes?
All right. So rabbits, porcupines, turkey, raccoon. Oh no, that's what they're. Oh no, they kill it. Dang, they kill bobcats
That's what I'm saying.
and lynx.
You know, it might have been little ones, though.
That's insane.
Well,
14 fisher caused mortality of lynx.
read that sentence right there.
Which one?
This last sentence. Observational studies show that fishers make repeated biting attacks on the face of a porcupine and kill it after about 25 to 30 minutes. Now, that might seem fast to a lot of people, but 25 to 30 minutes of getting bit in the face by this freak of nature is not going to be. I mean, what's it, a lethargic? You couldn't bite. You couldn't 4 to 13 pounds. Yeah, you could bite me alone. I mean, you're not biting me 30.
And they're small.
He ain't gonna bite me.
That's what I'm saying. They're like a honey badger or like a wolverine.
That's what it looks like.
I didn't even know that they were in New York. Like I know they're up in Canada and like the boreal forests and up in
That's weird, man.
there, but I didn't know that we had them down here. Yeah, she sent me a picture of that, and it's for sure a fisher. Like it's
not like
I've seen bobcat.
big squirrel.
No, I've seen bobcat there. I've seen a whole bunch of different stuff, but not that. So,
Well, so
that was a big tangent off of Wojo's spicy sweet mix up. But
let
us know, please let us know if you would try it at least.
I mean, is that something?
Because
cool?
I don't want to make 500 jars of it and then.
I mean,
I guess you just got to take your shot.
Yeah, you just
you know about that.
I mean, it's. I mean, at the very least, you've got a pretty good supply for yourself.
Yeah.
If you make sure you like it, but I think it'd be kind of cool to try it with some different proteins.
Oh, absolutely. I just the way that I want to try, but the next thing I want to try. So I want to try adding it into a coleslaw.
You can't tell all your secrets on here now, though.
No, that's just a recipe. I'm not telling them what it is. Like, I want to try using it in a coleslaw.
Well, can we brown some?
Are you talking about the chili sauce now?
Yeah, the chili sauce. I want to brown some of that stuff. Get a bunch of whatever kind of beans, kidneys, whatever you're gonna put in your chili. Throw those two things in a crock pot. Dump a jar of this stuff in there with it, and just put it on slow and low for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we can eat.
Yeah, it don't even take that long, really.
It don't. Well, we got to let the beans cook.
They're already cooked, man.
Oh, well, that shows you how much I cook chili.
I don't know. I don't ever make beans from scratch. I feel like that's like an all-day affair, I think. I don't know. Never done it. Beans are kind of weird to me. I'm not a big bean guy. Don't look at me like that.
Here you are blasting Texas.
Don't look at me like that, man. Come on now. We are in a new era. All right.
I got another guy you can call. This is
Who's
just
that?
random. If we're just,
I have his number. If that's who you're thinking,
we're just
of.
gonna
But
make
it's
some
gonna be
random-
weird if I call him. I can't call him from my phone.
call him from your. He'll answer.
He has my number, so he knows.
He's definitely gonna answer.
No, he's gonna be like, "Why is this guy calling?" He's gonna text you immediately and be like, "Dude, this guy's annoying me."
Just call it. I'll
Hang on,
talk.
let me unpair. Just in the meantime, we'll talk about something, but I'm gonna unpair mine.
I wanted you to call him from your phone.
No,
You're so scared.
all right. See if you can connect to it. We're gonna take a technical intermission, folks. We're not even gonna tell you who we're gonna call, but it's someone famous. I'm just gonna.
Ish.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
What? How do I find it?
Just look on your Bluetooth for Rodecaster Pro. We're doing this live. I mean, this is like a good example of what the show is. I mean, this is raw, unedited.
That's right. This is going to be a fun one, though.
We rarely come in like super prepared. For our big episodes, we do.
Make that thing findable again.
It should still be findable.
No, I was already on it, so it made me repair. All right.
But
and I'm not the most tech savvy person out there, so I mean, I'm connected. Well, we could connect to Carly's her
Mac
computer in there. All right, so now I just call him.
Just call him, and it will do the rest. That is what technology is there for.
Turn that thing down.
Turn it down.
What's up?
What are you doing, boy?
We're in the middle of a riot.
Before you answer that question, I was going to tell you you're live on our podcast right now.
We're on it right now?
Yes, right now.
Oh, well, good thing I didn't cuss.
Well, just clean up your act right now. Get your mind in the right spot. Out of whatever you were just. You said you were in a right.
Yeah, I was thinking on verse 2 when you just. Yeah, I'm making a run to the store to get us a little something to drink and maybe a little beef jerky while we're thinking on this thing.
Well, I'm still waiting on that call from you to help provoke some ideas, but I never seem to get the calls. I don't know what. Maybe I'm not available when you need me.
Yeah, well, I think it's just that you're so eat up with all the other calls for you to write songs that you're never available for me. So it's what it is, I guess.
It's all right. Well, as long as Luke keeps calling me, then we'll be all right.
That's right. That solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, that'll solve a few. Hey, we're just doing something different on the podcast. Okay. To be honest with you, we called Mike's mom first. Mike's on here too. If you want to say hi to Mike.
Yeah.
What's up, Big Mike?
What's up, dude? How you been, man?
Oh man, I can't complain, brother.
Yeah, you and me both. I do want to say just before we call that, we didn't disclose who. This is Ray Fulcher, by the way. Yes. We hadn't disclosed that yet.
What's up, everybody?
I said we're calling someone famous just to kind of tease it. And he goes ish, so that's what he thinks.
Yeah, very very ish. But also, I will say to add to my resume, I've been on a podcast and in the middle of writing a song at the same time. I've never done that before. So
that's what I'm talking about. We innovators around here.
My favorite thing, and this is what's so crazy, is my favorite thing is he's going to get beef jerky and then write like a number one that's going to be played on country music radio. And that to me is the craziest thing.
With a lot of luck. Yeah, that part. It won't take much luck to get beef jerky, but it might help me get the second verse right. So
if Jack Links is in the second verse, we know where it came from.
That's right.
He'll walk right by that Jack Links, but I'll tell you what he will do is he'll grab what I'm drinking right now. About 7 out of 10 times, this is what he's going to be getting.
The monk fruit one? Are you you're a Red Bull guy?
Oh, sugar free. Yep.
That's what I'm.
Sugar free Red Bull. I love them.
I just got a monk fruit. Have you ever had that one?
I'm a basic guy. You know that. So I just stick to the red.
Well, this is zero sugar. This is a Red Bull Zero.
Oh no, I ain't got that. I don't think.
My latest body size has warranted me to start taking some desperate measures.
Yeah, instead of full sugar free is maybe a better option, but maybe not. They say there's bad stuff in all of it. So.
That's what I mean. I'm sure there's not a whole lot good in a Red Bull. Period.
It's like pick your hard, like pick your terrible thing to put in your body.
That's right. There's your second verse.
We'll know one day when we're talking to the Lord, hey man, was it the Red Bull that killed me? And he'll probably say, yeah. It was the sugar free.
He said, Jesse, the can was in your hand, son.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I just wanted to get a quick snapshot of what's going on right now. We're
just up here writing. And, I talked to you the other day. I think it's on 25 this year, which is a crazy pace that I can't keep up. But it's a whirlwind up here right now. So,
bro, we're like 3 days into the second month of the year, and you got 25 done?
Yeah, I got 25 done since January 13th. We're rolling right now, baby.
My gosh.
Somebody must be chasing you.
Hey, just remember this. It's a numbers game, Mike. It's a numbers game.
That is true. Out of I think on a podcast way long ago, you said you probably had over 5,000 songs.
It's somewhere in the thousands. I don't really know. I've forgotten a lot of them.
Definitely, it's a numbers game. But whatever it is, you're winning at it because you got too many. You got almost more number ones than you got fingers on your hands, man.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to fill up both hands. It's the goal now.
Well, it won't be long at this pace.
We'll see. Hey, them boys are hitting me up. I know they're asking where I'm at with their stuff, and they probably got a good idea. So,
well, I ain't
thank y'all for having me on.
Of course, man.
All right.
I appreciate it. I was kind of surprised that you answered the phone. I knew you wouldn't. Probably.
Well, like I said, you caught me in this gas station running.
All right, kid. Well, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, love y'all.
All right, we'll see you. Bye. I wanted to go to hang up, even though I don't have anything to hang up.
Well, there's that. That's the first time I've ever done that, y'all.
That's crazy.
Now I know I can call Shaniqua on the podcast, and she has to be sweet.
Yeah. When you got to break something bad.
Yeah, I'm not in the good category high enough right now to spring something like that on her for sure. So, no, she's not in any danger of being called anytime soon.
Yeah. I really wanted to ask, and I didn't ask. Who do you think he's writing with right now? Do you know?
I have no idea.
No, you don't got to look it up or call him and ask him. I'm just going to text him. No. It's good. Listen, it's better to hypothesize because everyone kind of knows who he runs with. You know who's been on a tear lately as a writer? Who I think? Archer, your boy Archer, Thomas Archer.
OTA.
Dude, he's killing it.
He's just, that whole group of guys they're so cool. And, oh, by the way, that just reminds me of some of those guys. How about Stelly just deciding to get married? Out of nowhere.
I didn't know that.
Gets engaged and married the next day.
No, he's like, it's done.
How do I do? I mean, what am I waiting on?
Yeah. I love it, man.
So I'd love to talk to him about that, which I can probably set up for us to have a conversation with him. That'd be kind of cool just to get the deets on that.
Yeah. Eventually, we're going to have Luke. We got to have Luke on. First, we got to find out, because this will decide if we have him on or not. It won't really, but because I'll be honest, if he said that he would do it,
It'd probably be whenever
I'd give up like body parts to.
Be careful.
Yeah. But we got to know if a King Creek hat has made it on the hat wall.
It has.
You found out?
Mm-hmm. I've got pictures of it.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, there's more than one.
Really? Mm-hmm. Is it like the hats that have like he's worn during something?
Yeah, and like hats that kind of mean something, like
when it rains, it pours. I bet you that hat's on the wall. The camo.
Leather patch, the camo, black logoed.
Yeah.
I think it's video hats, the ones he's wearing in music videos and stuff.
That's cool.
So that's cool. And I know there's one in the Hall of Fame. It's kind of neat. So he's definitely.
We're going to have him on eventually.
Yeah, I feel like it's happening.
But we need to get more listeners.
He's so anti-podcast.
I would imagine. I bet you he's anti like video podcast. Like if it was just like me, you, Ray, him, like chilling.
Oh, I mean, he would. I mean, in a phone call, that's one thing. But
I'm saying that like I know him. I don't know him.
If you don't think these guys don't have those guys are a little bit different where they don't have every minute counted because they have decided they didn't want to live that way. So they've chose to be a little different, but
yeah.
I'm
also thinking from a perspective where 500 million people don't know who I am, whereas he's got to kind of be careful with what he says and what he does and all that.
It's just such an odd deal, man, where, people can chop up and twist whatever you say to fit whatever sort of narrative they want to fit. And, I feel very confident he knows that's one, he knows what we stand for. But I mean, also, it's that fine line too, to where, when you're friends, I don't want to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
And just because that's not what we're after. I like being the guys that get to hang out and talk to when they're not having to be on, when they can just chill and be normal.
Yeah, we should set up. Oh man, I wish you still had that little warehouse over there. Or we could do like a golf simulator. We should do like when we have guests on, we should do like a little hang before and after, or after.
That's cool.
We should do something like that.
I am trying to plan something with our buddy at Oconee. A couple buddies there, but I am also
Sean.
I'm also trying to get something set up where I want to get you talking about somebody's anti-podcast. This one's very anti-podcast, but a good friend of mine, Bradley Jordan from Blue Otter. I think he's just got a fascinating story, and I would love to have him on. So maybe just by me saying this and putting the pressure on him, that can help.
Yeah.
Could also shoot it in the foot pretty quick too.
Please, Bradley. Please. I've actually asked Jesse a long time ago to get him on too.
Yeah, and he's, have I formally asked him and set it up and him deny me? No. Mm-hmm. Just because it's like anything else, some people I know that aren't really particularly interested in doing that kind of thing. But I think with a little persuasion, I think we can get him on.
Yeah.
Because I think, and this is the thing that I really want to, and I really like showcasing that, for what a lot of people are known for is really, in my opinion, it can be the least impactful or important part of their whole life. Like Luke, for example, and I'm not, because I'm going to hold out for maybe having him on, but his story outside of music and all that is the most fascinating part of all. Now, he has since built quite a fascinating music story.
Right.
But, just knowing people kind of getting a layer beneath all the other nonsense, like you've been able to do now from being around here with Ray and, a couple of other guys that you see, that Stelly, for example, they're so different.
Yeah. Getting to know them like outside of being on, like you said, it's not like they're different. They're I think you connect more with them as a human.
Right.
Because you're like, they got the same troubles I do.
And to me, one thing that is pretty common though, is it makes sense that they've become successful. Mm-hmm. Because it's pretty easy to figure out that, they could have been successful in many other things. Matt could have been a stand-up comedian, in my opinion.
Or an NBA basketball player.
Well, I mean, he kind of, yeah, he's that was an option, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people are just destined to be successful at something. And it's not that they're that much more talented, although they are. It's not at such a crazy amount. It's just that I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's not about what they have to offer as much as it is their inability to ever stop. And they just don't have any quit in them. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that could be very successful, but they quit right before they make it.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, because you're not that way. You don't let the sun go down on your ideas. You move.
Yeah.
And you're going to find one. And not that you're that's successful as it is.
No,
there's a difference in success and contentment.
Right.
and understanding the difference in success and contentment. And there's also a difference in contentment and complacency.
That's right.
And so you've got to teeter on the complacency side, full of contentment. And then I think you'll become successful. Because you can be, just because somebody's successful in one particular area doesn't mean, here's the end all be all that they've made it. You've got to be nowadays successful in, I think I just said that backwards. You've got to be nowadays. So instead I'm going to say nowadays, you've got to be successful in many things. You've got to have a successful marriage. You've got to have a successful, work career. You've got to have a successful home life. You've got to have a successful hobby life. And
And there's what's interesting and what I'm learning is there's priorities to there's priorities into how those successes are developed in a sense. I'm not explaining that right, but basically like you have to have, if you're married, you have to have a successful marriage before you're successful elsewhere. Like it's got to be done in that order.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely
there's definitely a certain order into this.
For sure, it'd be. Well, I mean, you and I, with what we believe, it'd be very difficult to be successful parents until you're successfully married.
Yeah, and
not just because of morally what I think is right and what's wrong, but I learned so much about being a parent after, before everybody when they get to a certain age where you're thinking about having kids. Then you want to start dissecting. And, and a lot of it's not fair to our parents, but we want to start dissecting our parents and how they parented us. And then we decide, hey, look, I'm definitely not going to do things the way that they did in this area, in this area, in this area, in this area. And on your first kid that, you got some pretty good, intentions. I mean, by the second or third, you understand why your parents did what they did.
Yeah.
Because it's like, whatever, just, it ain't going to hurt him. Just let him eat it. But, so I think, maybe for the first couple years in most parents' lives as parents, it might be a little unfair, or they might be a little unfair towards their parents because they're, you can become pretty judgmental because all we want to do is we want to focus on the things that we feel they did wrong and how we're not going to do it. Well, let me tell you, if you focus on the 2 or 3 things that you can come up with that they did wrong, it's a drop in the bucket compared to everything that goes with raising a child.
Yeah.
And I don't think you really realize that until you start having some of your own. And of course, now mine are grown. And I realize that parenting, it's so hard with parenting adults. I'll take parenting them non-potty trained, spitting up, defiant 2, 3, 4-year-olds any day. And it's not because, mine are terrible. But you talk about work, when you start trying to balance the friend life with the parent life and if they ask you something, it's hard to jump out of parent role.
Yeah.
You automatically, sometimes they just want to know, do you like Big Macs or Whoppers? Which one do you like best? They don't need to know what's safe to eat and what's not safe. And if I were you, and I know I'm probably dumbing that down quite a bit because it's mainly towards the audience that can understand half of what I say. But what I mean by that is sometimes they just, when they get to be adults, they just want somebody to talk to them and not give them all the advice in the world, just listen to them. And when it's your children, it's harder to not take advantage of it and give that advice. Let them make the mistake. If it's a non-life threatening, career-ending type of mistake, excuse me, sometimes you just got to let them work it out themselves. And that's tough to sit back.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that so much lately with parenting and how there's like a direct correlation between the amount of adversity a child faces versus their success later in life. Mm-hmm. Like there's like a direct relationship there. But as a parent, you also don't want your kid to like be miserable and always like, being resentful towards you for letting them experience hardships.
Right.
So it's like this weird, it's definitely a weird balance where you got to be like, hey man, like you got to figure this out. But as a parent, you're trying to make your kid happy. So it's so easy to just do it for them or like give them the answer.
And I did that for a long time.
Yeah.
But I will tell you the first, 4, 5, 6, 8 years, decisions that, you're making for your kids, you're still in that I'm trying to keep this thing alive stage.
Oh yeah.
Especially
I'm in
the
that
first
right
3. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want him to do something so stupid he dies.
Yeah.
I don't mind him playing, but on the rail, outside on the deck, 20 foot off the ground.
That's
I might need to reel him in a little bit.
Oh, no. We're trying to straight up move so we can do that.
Right. So you're trying to keep them from killing themselves.
Yeah.
And then after that, but you have to use some good discernment and realizing, if he's friends with this guy that's really not that good of a kid, is he going to get killed or is he going to get his butt kicked possibly? You know what I'm saying? So you've kind of got to decide where to take your lumps and where not to. And then as they get older, it seems like when they come to you for things, you can look at it as an adult and think, man, if this is all you've got to worry about, you just wait till the next, 2 or 3 years come about when you're, so, it's a work in progress. But I will tell you, keeping them alive is easier than keeping them close to you.
Yeah.
And so parenting kids to keep them from dying is a little bit easier than staying friends with them. And then, you also have to trust that, if you raise them in the way of the Lord, they will not depart from it. And there's not a promise as to a time frame on that particular verse either.
Right.
If you raise up a child, yeah, who knows when that time comes where, they might depart from it. Well, they might take a few days off though. And so anyway,
Ray, if you listen to this, I hope that little sentence right there needs to be written in the song, unless it's not that. What kind of song? Whatever. I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah.
So yeah,
I agree.
And that's just kind of the, we want to see. Also looking at the, recently in my life, Melissa and I were empty nesters just because our daughter was getting her master's and she was off to college, and our son was living on his own. Noah was, and now he's back, and she's back. So out of the blue, and we say out of the blue, just because we never really sat down prior to thinking, well, she's going to come back from college, and he was kind of a surprise, but he made a smart decision and didn't renew a lease somewhere because he wanted to wait and find a house he's getting married.
Well, our boy's getting married soon.
He's getting hitched in June, so we're going to have him married, and probably one of the smartest things he did was make the mature decision to leave where he was and come home and stack a little money, and it's a sweet time for us because we've got Olivia home and Noah home too, and we didn't really know. We kind of got used to being in my drawers and kind of doing my own thing. And if we wanted to eat out, we ate out. If we wanted to make something, if we wanted to eat a bowl of cereal,
yeah.
But now it's like we got meals. We got who's going to come home, who they going to have with them, and who's going to. So that part, took some adjusting, but I think it's a sweet time for us because it's. For sure, we wanted him to have this time with us, and I can teach him some grill skills and teach him some cooking stuff. And Melissa, they've been spending time together, and so we're going to make sure we're going to crash course in being a husband over the next 6 months.
I want to get him an outfit I know he'll never wear, but like a white polo, jean shorts. Like he'll never wear that.
And some old Crusher.
Well, he does have some sick New Balances now, though. But anyways. What you were saying reminded me of Luke Combs' song. So his Fathers and Sons album, it's a little bit more sentimental just because, as a father and a son. Like
I can't even listen to it hardly.
Yeah.
The whole thing's sad. Sad, but it's
emotional.
It's emotional.
Yeah. And I gifted the vinyl to my dad, actually. So he's got like a record
power
player.
move.
Power move. He's been listening to it down there in the basement. We got a pool table and all that, so he loves going down there and
nothing like a northern family with a pool table in the basement with old beer light above it.
No beer. I wish we had a beer light. That would be cool.
That's so cool.
No, but we got like a pool table in the center and then a big record player with like the tower speakers. You know what I'm talking about? Off the sides.
Oh yeah,
make the house shake. It's cool. But he's got a giant record collection. He's probably got 1,500 records down there.
Well, I'm glad I know that. Now I know what I can secretly gift your dad, some kind of cool old vinyl.
Yeah. I mean,
that's cool.
It's all like alphabetized. It's a legit collection. Anyways, it reminded me of the song on his new album, Whoever You Turn Out to Be.
Oh, I can't come close to listening to that one.
Yeah.
Because, I live that one.
Yeah. It's, but it's true. Like, it's kind of like no matter who you turn out to be, I'm going to love you and
that's right.
be your dad.
And that's difficult.
It's hard because like you have your idea, you almost want to live vicariously through them and make decisions for them. Mm-hmm. And you want their life to be a certain way, but it's kind of ultimately their ship to steer. And
if you think about it, I'm glad my parents didn't do that to me.
Yeah.
And how this happens to where we get so hung up in, and there, I will say this for all the parents out there that are doing this. I mean, if there was a cheat code to life, it would be your kids doing everything you tried to help them do. That'd be a cheat code for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would it be as satisfying for them? That's debatable. But they definitely could save a lot of money, get a lot less stitches, a lot fewer broke bones if they just did what we asked them to do. But the lessons learned and all those stitches and broke bones and that's the things that when we're gone, that's going to propel them. And so you need to let them, you got to be a little hands off and let them go out there and get after life. But the thing that I've always told mine was that I just want them to go get whatever they want to get.
Yeah.
Just don't, if I had listened to everybody that I had more naysayers out there than I had anybody that was giving me any praises at all. So mine was more of a prove them wrong kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tough for me because I knew they didn't have to deal with those people that were telling them that you can't do this. It's how do you decipher all the good advice and then somehow figure out what you want to do in life?
Yeah.
Because you can get 10 different examples of great advice and none of the 10 make you happy. That doesn't mean that the one you pick outside of the 10 is a wrong one. And so how do you decipher and use some good discernment when you're getting good advice from a lot of different people? So I think you need to listen to your heart, your spouse. I think you definitely need to listen to yours more. You don't do a real good job of that. Listen, I'm just kidding. I know we've had several conversations. I think your wife was at my house today, by the way.
She was.
I saw her come through the.
Yeah, she was
like
there.
A bougie thing for me to say on air, but I think I seen her come through the gate.
Yeah, she was there.
Well, that's awesome. She was probably getting was she going to get some words from Shaniqua?
Yeah, just hanging out. I think they went for a walk.
Oh, Lord.
Because they had, y'all had a baby today, one of the babies.
Oh, wow. The way you said y'all had a baby today. I was going to say, boy, a bunch happened that I was been absent.
Yeah, you're going to go home to a crib and
I do
a full house.
Every day we got one of the.
Yeah, you got a Rugrat.
I call them all the nephews.
The fuse.
Got me about to have 5. Them suckers are everything to me.
Multiplying, yeah.
I love him, son with guns too. That's why I'm sick all the time. Because them petri dishes of puke and snot. But I love it.
Gotta love it. All right, well, let's wrap this up. And we want to wrap it up on something new. That's kind of like the theme of today's, even though the last 20 minutes
I didn't give you my word.
Yeah, what's your word? What's your new word for the year? You're thinking about it. Do you have one? Or are you coming up with one now?
I've got 2.
All right.
Momentum was one of them. I want to use, not that I've got, I don't think I've got some crazy momentum going. What, did you forget something?
Today, yeah.
Today was men's forum.
Yeah.
I didn't text you because I thought you were working.
I got off at 6. I can make it. I'm going to be tired, but I can make it.
You missed it.
I'll be at the next 3.
Good and 2.
Yeah.
But anyway, momentum is one of them. The reason that I hesitated was I want to tell you, it's not that I've got this, I'm halfway down a hill and I got all this momentum. That's not it, but it's just taking advantage of any momentum that you have. I feel like I've got a bad habit of getting things rolling and we got things going. And then, I shift gears, which I have to do, but I shift gears into something else without fully making sure that I've got whatever I just left still rolling.
Mm.
So I need to set that up a little bit more. And then health is another one for me. I'm not dying. I'm not, but I've gotten a few extra pounds on me.
You and me both.
I committed this not too long ago where I have literally in this, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing to say it, but I shouldn't be embarrassed because I haven't done anything wrong. But I have taken Adderall 1 in the morning for the last, I couldn't tell you how many years. And I just.
At 1 in the morning?
No, 1 pill in the morning.
Oh, in the morning. Yeah. I was like, dude, isn't that supposed to isn't that
messes
going to keep
sleep.
you up?
Yeah. So anyway, I've taken it for, I don't want to say attention I don't know the term.
Whatever it is, I got it.
So I
never diagnosed, but I got it.
And I'm telling you, I just started having a bad feeling about it and just not really feeling good about it. So I said, I'm just going to, like I do most things, I decided I want to stop, so I just quit it. Well, it kind of suppressed a little bit of my appetite, evidently, because food tastes different.
And tastes better?
Oh, brother, please. It tastes real good. And I just wanted to, I enjoyed eating. And it was something, looking back, Melissa and I, when we first started dating, we loved to go eat and all that. And she she told me, she said, you just don't want to go eat. You used to be more of a foodie, and I'm meat and potatoes. That's all I care.
Yeah.
I don't want to get out there in the weeds any. So anyway, I decided to quit taking that, and I've added, a little weight.
A few
Don't
pounds.
get me wrong. I'm still hovering in or right above what I was wearing before, that kind of a deal, but I'm just not.
Things are a little tighter than they used to be.
Oh, they real tight, bro.
Yeah.
And then, so I do want to make that more of a focus, because I do have a very beautiful wife, and she deserves to be married to somebody that's not a, slob, overweight, gross kind of a guy. And I felt like I was kind of, the makings were there to where I could get real comfortable.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just trying to be a little bit healthier, and I have committed to that, and I've done a pretty good job of going to the gym and all that. So
I think you could simplify your words to just momentum, because
I love
health
that,
is
actually, I would much rather it be just momentum.
well, I mean, that is what it is. Like you're going to start and take this momentum
As long
of
as
a
I
health
don't take-
journey also.
As long as I don't take the momentum of this weight gain
Yeah.
and keep rolling with that,
we're swinging the other way now.
brother,
That's why you're on the zero monk fruit.
I got to
Red Bull.
go to the left side of the plate, and I got to swing from a different side. It's just,
I'm right there with you, man. I did so good at the beginning of last year, and then life happens, and you I don't know. Routine is something that I need to really do well, but I don't know. You can't let routine drive your life, in a sense where you're just so stiff and rigid. So I have a hard time balancing that.
well, other than me admitting that I'm drinking a zero sugar Red Bull, I have not had soda. I'm straight water, and I'm eating pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I got a wedding to get ready for in June, and I don't want to look like a penguin.
Me too.
I want to look like I could be getting married.
Yeah. Me too. I got to get ready for that one.
Yeah, you'll be in it with us. So
That's right.
there is a max on the sizes of. We got a meeting next week with the designers for our
Designers.
for the men for the tuxes and all this kind of stuff. So we are going to cap the.
All right.
So the cut it's got to work for everybody. So
I'm probably top of the
get in
line
where you
out of
fit.
that crew.
Well, if you're not, I am, because those guys, it's a bunch of rails.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're a bunch of
I'm definitely
thinnies.
top of that line.
So yeah, that's kind of my.
What was I about to
That's
say?
kind of my word.
Let's end this. But have
can't
you
end it,
seen?
But
All right, real quickly, when you said water and the health thing, I just finished watching this podcast with Gary Brecka. You know who that guy is? And the hydrogen water. I want to try it.
You got to drink it fast, though, don't you?
Oh, I don't know.
I
But
think-
do you know how expensive one of those water bottles that he's talking about is?
I bet you could tell us.
Just about a 12-ounce water bottle's $300.
That's stupid, Mike.
He's telling people to drink hydrogen
why
water,
he's-
and it's like, bro, it's
that's why he's rich.
$300.
And you have to drink it in such a fast pace.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but
It loses its.
well, you just reionize it or whatever.
It
the
loses
hydrogen.
whatever it is.
But I wonder if it's got fizz to it or something.
Well,
It definitely changes the way it
I
tastes.
thought it's supposed to be the same thing that
like sparkling
people
water.
that would drink hydrogen peroxide.
Well, nobody drinks hydrogen peroxide because that's how you die.
I know, but there's pharmaceutical grade that you can look it up.
That you drink?
I'm smart. Yeah. You
You
just
don't,
take a teaspoon.
not peroxide.
You take a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide. Look it up. This is him.
This is
going,
not health advice, people.
Well, they
All
might
right,
want it.
pharmaceutical grade. Let's see if I can spell that right. Grade hydro.
There it is right there.
To drink.
Mm-hmm. You add it to water.
All right. Is it safe to drink hydrogen peroxide? We're just going to the first one.
It says that you're not supposed to drink it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You could swish it in your mouth as like a teeth whitener. I've done that before. But you spit it out. I don't think you're supposed to consume anything that has the word peroxide in it. Anything "ide" kills.
Maybe it's the hydrogen part.
Think about this. Anything that ends in "ide" kills you or kills things. Pesticide, herbicide, suicide, homicide. You're not supposed to drink peroxide. It kills things. I feel real smart for putting that together on the fly. But all right, we're ending this. We got to end this because we're talking about something so stupid right now. People are listening. They're like, all right, I'm turning off the podcast. We can't listen to an hour of this. So, all right, we'll talk about hydrogen peroxide starting off the next one because I believe you. Like, there's some crazy stuff out there, but I don't think you're supposed to be drinking it. But the hydrogen water is a thing, and it's $300 for one of the water bottles he's talking about. See, and to me, $700 for a pitcher.
That's not right. How long is it supposed to last?
I don't know. Not indefinitely, because things aren't built to last.
See, to me, you should automatically never listen to anything that guy says again. If he wants to tell you that you need to spend, because I promise you, our grandparents would have a heart attack that we're spending $3 for water.
Look at that.
So is it the flask you're buying and it makes the water that?
You put water in this thing, you hit the power button, and it ionizes the water with hydrogen.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
There's like cheaper versions, but they're still the cheapest thing you can buy is $70 for a water bottle.
Well, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm telling you I can come closer to agreeing with it when I know that. I thought it was just you bought it like at the store. You spend $300 for a bottle of water.
No, it's a water bottle.
It's just a ionizer.
Yeah.
Well, imagine he's the very first one that comes up. He must have been the inventor of it too.
He's probably tied to it in some capacity.
If you don't think he ain't hoodwinked a bunch, let me look at some of the people he's talked to.
Well, these are the people that use it.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Who the heck's that? Oh, Prince.
We've never heard any of these other people. Not a single one of them. Who have you heard of on that list other than Alfonso Ribeiro?
Not a single one.
Who's known for being the Fresh Prince dance.
Yeah, not a single one.
There is not another one. Oh, Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Zac Efron. There you go.
Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's who that is?
That's Layla Ali. But come on, man.
All right, everyone. We're going to cut the last 6 minutes of this podcast because we're talking about nonsense. But, all right, we will see you in the next podcast. We have made it to 13. We get to 14. Hopefully we can keep this ball rolling.
Get healthy. I need people to have some momentum.
And direction.
Get direction. And thank Miss Wojcik for getting on the phone with us. We're going to call her. It's probably going to be a segment now where we're going to call her, and she's got some wisdom that we're going to impart to everybody else. And y'all just be thinking about the honey badger. No, it ain't a honey badger. What is it?
Fisher.
The Fisher, because I will kill the Fisher.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, folks. See you.
Stetson had a little splash in my cup, a little gas in my truck, a little cranked up on my radio, a little down on my window.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for listening. If you would please leave us a review and a rating, that is how we get the word out about this podcast. And lastly, go check us out at Kings Creek Apparel. Thank you.